guys. Hello guys, welcome once more to my channel. In today's video, I'll be doing a market forecast on GBPUSD. Basically, we'll be analyzing the GBPUSD market and trying to spot buying opportunities or selling opportunities. So begin this market forecast, I would like to begin on the monthly time frame, and we are actually in the month of July, and this is a bearish candle here in the month of July. If this candle if this bearish candle closes like this, it's telling us there's a possibility of sellers taking price downwards, because if we look at previous price action, it has been bullish, it has been bullish, it has been bullish, it has been bullish, it has been bullish. This is the first this is the first bearish candle which has been formed. And if the month of July closes like this, it's telling us selling pressure is already within this area and there's a possibility for price to sell to the downside. Not that withstanding, looking also at market structure, we can clearly see that price created this high, which came down and created this low. We saw a retracement into this previous supply zone here. We got a reaction. Price went down, broke structure to the downside to form a lower low. We saw another retracement upward into this other supply zone, which was formed within this area. And this retracement is provided a reaction within this zone, which pushed price to the downside, provided another break of structure to the downside up to this point, telling us there's a possibility of the market to continue selling. And if you see previously, let me just delete this. Is there you go. Price has been creating a series of lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So we're expecting that price should create a lower low. So, and with that withstanding, I was expecting price to react either from here to sell downwards, or should react from here to sell downwards. And since price is reacting within this zone and we are seeing this bearish candle on the monthly time frame, we're expecting that if this month closes with this massive bearish candle, then there's a possibility for us to start looking for sales to the downside. So on the monthly time frame, we are bearish. Scaling down into the weekly time frame, we have to focus on the weekly time frame now. And this is what we see within the weekly time frame. We clearly see that price, if I zoom out the chart, price left this lowest point. From this lowest point, price broke structure here to the upside. These are similar structures on the weekly time frame. Lower lows, lower highs, lower low. Price book structure upside to form a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And there's a possibility for price to provide a retracement downward to form a higher low, before form another higher high, before dumping down, or whatever the case may be. But for us not to speculate, but rather react to price action. So what do I mean by that? I mean that we at this point in time, we are supposed to react to price movement rather than speculating. We trade what we see. We don't trade what we expect. So looking at price, there are many ways that I can analyze price. Okay. From this point, I can draw a trend line and say, okay, price book structure here to the downside. Let me make it visible for us. I could simply see price from this zone. I could use a trend line to try to identify price structure. Oh, okay. I could use a trend line to identify market structure here. And using a trend line to identify market structure, I can clearly see that price has broken the structure. And the price has broken the structure on the weekly time frame, telling us price is starting to be bearish. But not to be, in order for us not to assume that, what am I focusing here on? I'm focusing here on inefficiency, imbalance in price action. And based on my concept, I can fully tell you guys that this is an imbalance in price action formed on the weekly time frame. Yes, we see imbalance within the market. So due to this level of imbalance, I'm expecting price to come up and fill this imbalance. So because of this imbalance, I'm expecting price to go back up to be able to fill this imbalance to at least three quarter of the imbalance. And it might happen, it might happen from this zone. It might happen directly from this zone. It might happen directly from price might react here and go up. Or if it doesn't happen that way, price might dump, come into this daily demand zone before going up to fill this imbalance up to around this level. So based on that knowledge, I scale now into remember on the monthly time frame we are bearish, but since the monthly time frame is a larger time frame, it might take time for price to give us a massive sell to the downside on the monthly time frame. But in the meantime, we might be having little buying opportunities within the lower time frame. There will be a lot of buying opportunities, so that price will be creating liquidity which will be taken out on the monthly time frame on the long run. So we have on short-term buyers, liquidity has to be generated in a form of buy and sell. Then on the long term, price might sweep all the liquidity to sell to the downside. So, and if I have to get into the daily time frame, what are we seeing? This is what we are seeing at the moment. Based on the daily time frame, can clearly see that price created a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. There's a probability that price might continue to create that higher high, or there's another possibility that this was just an internal structure which was used as liquidity for price to sweep the leak, to sweep all this liquidity, to dump and come down before giving us a buy to fill out this gap. Presently, we do not see inefficiency here within the daily time frame, but when we go to the weekly time frame, we can clearly see that there is a point of inefficiency within the zone. So the bias is simple: price to come up here, fill the inefficiency, and maybe sell here. Why is it selling here? Sell here for price to continue this movement of going downwards, Or since we have liquidity also above this area, and we have this other zone here, price might react on two occasions. Price might sweep this liquidity is sitting here and dump here, get into the daily time frame, give us a buy up to this zone, or give us a buy up to this zone to be able to sweep all the liquidity that is within this area. Let me repeat it again. We have liquidity sitting here. We have an inefficient price action sitting here. We have liquidity here. Price might sweep this liquidity, get into this demand zone, react up here, and sweep all this liquidity up to this point. So you react up to this point, up to this point. Or if it doesn't happen that way, there's a potential possibility that price might just come up and dump. Or there's another possibility that price might come here, react with, there's another possibility that price might come within this zone, react here, and go up for dumping. All these are possibilities that we have in the market. So based on that, I would only tell you guys the week that we should be just watching at the chart, try to see what the market is doing. But basically for me, I'm focused on on this inefficiency within the weekly time frame. This inefficiency which is here within the weekly time frame is very important to me, because price always do its best to fill inefficiencies to three quarter of the price. So let me go back to the 4 hour time frame to be able to show you guys an example of what I'm talking about when I talk of inefficiency. Talking of inefficiency here, we have another inefficiency here which was created on the 4 hour time frame. This is an inefficiency. This is price inefficiency. And if you look at this price inefficiency here, what happened? Because price left a lot of inefficiency, because the price actually was imbalanced. Price was supposed to go back up to be able to fill this inefficiency up to three quarter of it. So based on that, I had the opportunity to get an entry here based on my setup, get an entry here. And I was confident of this entry. One confirmation was because I was trying to catch this movement that will fill this inefficiency. At this point in time where I took profit, the market was already efficient. The price was already efficient because This candle closed up to this level, which means more than three-quarter of price had closed above this level. Means price had left from inefficiency to efficiency. That's all for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe, comment, share, like. Stay safe and stay blessed.